Beloved, good evening. This is Barking train station. This is where Manna Mission Church UK is. The first branch of Manna Mission Church is in Barking. This is where we've been doing evangelism, where there is all kinds of war, spiritual war over souls of people is.
Yes, we are in London. Who are you talking to? Hello.
Now, I want to say to all of you, yes, if you are a Christian,
yes,
and you have been a Christian more than 10 years, and you haven't been doing personal evangelism, you are a Christian more than 10 years, and you haven't been doing personal evangelism, there is something wrong. Please listen to me carefully. It doesn't matter, I don't know what church you go. You can be going to Church of Pentecost, you can be going to Christ Embassy, I don't know, name them. You can be going to IGCE, you can be going to Christian Action Faith, wherever your church is, whatever church you go. If you are a Christian and you've been a Christian for more than 10 years and you haven't been doing personal evangelism, you personally haven't been doing it, there is something wrong. It's either your foundation is wrong or you personally don't want to obey the Great Commission. Can you imagine if every Christian who is more than 5 years in Christianity, can you imagine if every Christian is reaching one soul a year, not a month, one soul a year? Can you imagine how this world will look like? It's either we have believed a lie or we are lying to ourselves. This is not the only place we preach. Now, being in Manna Mission is a privilege for some of us. You know, it is at Manna Mission that I realized that some people chose a profession like medical doctors, nurses, and others. They chose a profession that will give them the chance to evangelize the souls. Many of the missionary doctors that came to Manna Mission, they chose the profession with the purpose of using their profession to reach the unsaved. Whilst they attended to them, they shared Christ with them. But how many of us, I don't know what your profession is. You could be an engineer, you could be a pilot. Did you choose your profession purposely to reach people, or you chose it to make money? That's the difference. Many of us Christians today don't know the purpose of Christianity, why we are in this world in the first place. You, the young generation coming, I speak to you as somebody born in such a time like this, or being raised in such a time like this. Set yourself up to make a difference in your generation. I follow many platforms and many churches. They give things, they talk big, they don't do a thing. There is a church I don't want to mention. They said their theme is reaching the nation for God. Meanwhile, in the nations they have gone, they have never reached one nationality in that country. All they reach is Ghanaian folks. It's only Ghanaians who have traveled to the diaspora. They are the ones they reach. And they say we are reaching the nation. You are not reaching no nation. You are deceiving yourself. If you are reaching nation, show the nation your churches are, other nationalities in that church. We should stop fooling ourselves. The lies have to stop. We have to be real. We have lied to ourselves. You, the young generation coming, you have to set up. The reason why many of you young people have backslided, because you don't know what you are as a Christian. You don't know the purpose of your existence. So when you are talking about backslidiness, oh, I've backslided, oh, now I don't even feel like going to church. You don't feel like going to church because you don't know who you are. You don't know what you have believed. Paul said, we know what we have believed. What shall separate us from the love of God? They didn't backslide because they knew what they believed. They had a personal experience with God. sad, isn't it? And many of us are in ministry. You are in ministry for money. You are in ministry for financial purposes. You are not in ministry for souls. It's not because you love the Lord and you want to reach souls for the Lord. Many of you, you went to Bible school purposely to start a church. You want to use the church as a means of survival. And many of you, you broke away from your churches. You broke away from churches, and after you are broken away, you poach people from that church. You poach people from that church to go and start your own church. That's deception. That's wickedness. If really you are being called, why don't you go and start all over? Listen, when I left my previous church, I left alone because I know the God who has called me. What about you? Can we speak the truth in our generation? We have lied to ourselves so much. Let me repeat this again. If you are a Christian and you have been a Christian for more than 10 years and you can't do personal evangelism, there is something wrong with your faith. It's either you have believed a lie or you don't know what you are up to. This is hard, isn't it? But that's the truth. We hate to be told the truth. We love deception, and we love to be deceived. We don't like telling the truth. When people, you see, when somebody tells us the truth, we resent it. We hate the person. We say this person is too low, and we wish something bad will happen to the person. When was the last time? You said you have been a Christian more than 10 years. When was the last time you left your home? Or you think what you are doing in the church is enough? That's why many of you are fighting over eldership. You are fighting over leadership. You are fighting over everything in the church. Stop it. It's not worth it. There are souls on the street. Look at UK. The youth are dying their numbers. They are all over the place. They don't know their left from right. And you know so much. You say you know so much. You have been to all kinds of conferences. Your life is routine, doing the same thing all the time. And souls are perishing all the time. And you said, oh, I used to do it. You used to do it. That was when you gave your life to Jesus. What happened? The curse of this life has choked you. The word of God says, the curse of this life. Don't you know it's a curse of this life? The curse of this life, Bible said, will choke many. And they didn't bear fruit. You have stopped bearing fruit. The curse of this life has choked you. Has choked you. If you haven't been choked, get up. Rise up and begin to do something. There is no purpose of existence. If a Christian can no longer testify about Jesus with boldness, there is something wrong. There is no purpose for us existing. There are doctors, nurses using their profession to reach the unsaved. They're doing everything. There are teachers, there are lawyers, there are doctors. But you, what have you been doing? You said you are instrumentalist. You are going around charging money everywhere you go. You have never spoken to one soul. Sad, isn't it? Love money. You don't love the Lord. You don't love the work of the Lord. You don't appreciate the salvation you have received. You don't even know what salvation means. I challenge all of you. It is time to rise up. There were days that people have to rent big stadiums and do massive crusades. Our time is different. Our time is like guerrilla warfare, one-on-one on the streets, one-on-one personal evangelism. Some of you have invested so much money doing radio broadcasts, TV broadcasts, and we are far away from the people. We are far. You know, I love street evangelism. I love personal evangelism because you come one-on-one with the people. And there is no better method. You can argue. You can pour millions into radio. You know people who listen to it? Christians. Most of the programs we invest so much money into is Christians. But when you are doing one-on-one, you meet people of all walks who are not Christians. The purpose of evangelism is going where the unsaved are. And on the streets, on one-on-one personal evangelism, you meet the people who needed the gospel the most. May we be obedient people in our generation and change the course of the world by this. The more people invade villages, cities, towns, cities, and suburbs with the gospel, the quicker so many souls will hear the gospel and the Spirit of God will harvest. We are working with time. God has set a time for we human beings to do the harvest, and then that will follow the harvest of the angels. Our harvest is linked, the angels' harvest, the harvest of angels of God is dependent on our harvest, because the angels of God will come and harvest that which we Christians have harvested. Out of our work, they will harvest. So look at the harm you are causing. Stop wasting time. Some of you, you will hate me for what I'm saying. You will dislike me because I'm telling you the truth. Because you are sitting on your backside. You are only sitting on your backside. And you have become just a church pew warmer. Church pew warmer. You fight over positions in church. Oh, I was this. Stop it. The unsaved need you all over. The city where you live, where you work. Get up. If you are a Christian indeed, do what Christians do. Christians were left. We are left on this planet Earth to reach the lost for Jesus. We have no business in this life. I love you all. I will continue to tell you the truth. This is Barking. This is the head office of Manna Mission UK, where the dog barks, where evangelism is a warfare. Both police, community police, people of all walk who hated the truth come alive to shut the preachers. But we will never be shut. The Lord bless you all. I love you all. You continue to hear from us, from Barking. The Lord bless you.